we got to chill out with Anna and Elsa. So let's revisit Arendelle with 5 facts about Frozen and Frozen 2. Fact 1. In early drafts, Anna and Elsa weren't even sisters. In fact, Elsa was meant to be an evil queen, complete with blue skin and spiky short hair. Once a certain song was written, though, the creators knew they had to let it go and rework Elsa's character. Fact 2. Speaking of characters, Mickey makes a few cameos in Frozen. You just have to know where to look. Wait a minute. There he is. Zoom, zoom, and there he is again. Well, I guess the cold never bothered him anyway. Fact 3. Frozen and Frozen 2's artists looked to the unique style of artist Ivan Earl in Sleeping Beauty, which inspired the costume color palette for Frozen and the look of the Enchanted Forest for Frozen 2. When it comes to Enchanted Forest, some things never change. And I have a feeling Sleeping Beauty also had other influences on the film. Fact 4. Color continues to play a big role in Frozen 2, with different shades representing the elements earth, wind, fire, and water. Earth is a darker purple bluish hue. Wind is a light blue, fire is hot magenta, and water is cyan. Did you guys hear that knock? Fact 5. Creating the knock, as it's seen in Frozen 2, took 8 months. To make the knock feel like it's made of water, the effects team gave the mane and tail qualities that mimicked crashing waves with mist and bubbles. And if you'll excuse me, I'm off into the unknown. Thanks for watching. Let us know what Disney films you would like to know more about, and have a nice day. We're celebrating the most magical place on Earth with 5 facts about Walt Disney World. Fact 1. Walt Disney wished that he had been able to acquire more land for Disneyland Park and considered several locations for his next project, from St. Louis to Washington, D.C. to Niagara Falls. Ultimately, Orlando, Florida provided everything he was looking for: a growing population center, an agreeable climate, and a large quantity of available property. The Walt Disney Company purchased 27,000 plus acres of land anonymously under the names Bay Lake Properties, I-4 Corporation, Reedy Creek Ranch Inc., and more. In 1966, Walt personally sketched a master plan for the Florida project, known as the 7th Preliminary Master Plot Plan. It laid out everything from a theme park, resort hotels, lakes, and campgrounds, and served as the foundational model for the layout of Disney World. Later that year, Walt's older brother Roy took the reins of the company and renamed the project after the original dreamer, making it Walt Disney World. Roy then undertook the Herculean task of overseeing the world's largest private construction project up to that time. Unlike Disneyland, which was constructed in just under a year, 7 years of preparation and 52 months of construction led up to Walt Disney World's opening. In the spirit of Walt's vision for Epcot, many groundbreaking technologies and ideas were developed to make Walt Disney World an experience like nothing that had come before it. Fact 3. Magic Kingdom is technically 2 stories. On the bottom level, utilidors were constructed that serve as underground tunnels for cast members to quickly navigate the park out of sight of guests. Now let's talk trash. The utilidors also house a trash disposal system that was the first of its kind in the US, called AVAX. Trash is moved via vacuum tubes from 13 drop-off points around the park to one central location. Swamps, rivers, and lakes had to be dredged, and tons of earth had to be moved. 7 million cubic yards of that earth were used as the floor for the second level and raised the Magic Kingdom site an average of 14 feet. When it was finally ready to be unveiled, the opening dedication was a 3-day event, and there was a lot more to Walt Disney World than just the Magic Kingdom. Fact 4. Disney's Contemporary Resort and Disney's Polynesian Village Resort opened with Magic Kingdom and are still operating today. These original resort hotels used a prototype unitized construction method known as modular steel construction. While the Contemporary Resort and Polynesian Village Resort's skeletal structures were being constructed, the rooms were being manufactured off-site. Once they finished, they were trucked to the site, lifted by crane, and slid into the hotel's framework. Today, there are 31 resort hotels at Walt Disney World, totaling more than 30,000 hotel rooms across property, and clearly, Walt Disney World has grown quite a bit in half a century. Fact 5. Over 1.6 billion guests have visited Walt Disney World since its opening. At twice the size of Manhattan, it's home to 4 theme parks with more than 160 attractions, 2 water parks, and 2 solar facilities that provide enough renewable energy to operate 2 of its theme parks annually. It takes a lot of people to make the dream a reality, and just as Walt would have wanted, the dream lives on for generations to come. Thanks for watching! Let us know what other Disney topics you would like to learn more about. What am I going to do now? I'm going to Disney World.
Cirque du Soleil and Disney come together to present a new live show, Drawn to Life. Witness this love letter to Disney animation, interpreted through Cirque du Soleil's signature acrobatics. Leap into the world of Drawn to Life. See it live only at Disney Springs.
Attractions to movie costumes, models, and props, let's celebrate 50 years of preserving the magic with 5 facts about the Walt Disney Archives. Fact 1. If it's a piece of Disney Parks history, the Archives has probably archived it. They've helped to preserve the magic from every Disney park around the world. From Disneyland's first ticket to audio animatronics from Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Tours, and even the Mickey Mouse Review from the Magic Kingdom and Tokyo Disneyland. And some scary stuff from the parks, like this maleficent dragon head from Disneyland's Fantasmic, or even, oh, it's just one of the alien xenomorphs from the Great Movie Ride, Jiminy Cricket. Speaking of which, fact 2. Not only has the Archives preserved Disney Parks history, but also Disney and now Fox film history. They have character models and puppets from Disney and Fox films, props from the Pirates of the Caribbean films, the Shrinking Machine from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Herbie the Love Bug, and all these screen-used costumes. They even have iconic film props like Cinderella's glass slipper, one of the race cars from Ford v Ferrari, and Wilson. Well, certainly glad these props weren't cast away. Fact 3. What do you think is the oldest item in the Archives? Maybe this story script from Steamboat Willie. Disney or Fox memorabilia? It's actually much earlier than any of that. A few of the oldest items in the Archives are found in Walt Disney's offices. A 1,000-year-old Viking spearhead, a mammoth tooth which is thousands of years old, and this fossilized trilobite which is hundreds of millions of years old. The collection has a little bit of everything, documenting the entire history of the Walt Disney Company, and much of that is owed to founder and Disney legend Dave Smith. Fact 4. The Walt Disney Archives was founded in 1970 by Dave, after he was hired by Walt's brother and co-founder of the Walt Disney Company, Roy O. Disney. Dave's first job was cataloging every item inside Walt's office suite. Thanks to Dave's detailed inventory, notes, and reference photographs, the Archives was able to restore the suite in 2015. And now, Disney employees and D23 members can visit and draw inspiration from this remarkable space. Fact 5. Since 1970, the Archives collection has grown significantly to include approximately 10,000 costumes, more than 38,000 catalog props and set pieces, and millions of documents and photographs make up this truly massive collection. The Archives photography collections hold nearly 25 million images from both the Disney and Fox libraries. From behind-the-scenes views of live-action movies to historical moments at Disneyland with Walt showing off his park, this collection has a little bit of everything. So, be sure to keep an eye on D23.com for exclusive stories from the Archives team and information on the latest exhibits. Thanks for watching. Let us know your favorite item from the Archives and why it's Captain Rex. It's been 20 years since we first dove into the Big Blue World with Jellyman and Little Blue. And to celebrate, here are 5 fishy facts about Finding Nemo. Fact 1. To better understand and animate the ocean, some of the production team had to become scuba certified and literally dive deep to get it right. Based on photos they took underwater, the initial ocean simulations animators created looked a little too realistic. Pixar wanted audiences to feel like the ocean they made actually existed, but also feel as if they were in a make-believe world. Throughout the film, there's a spectrum of underwater color that reflects the story. When we start at the reef, the water is crystal clear, but in darker moments, the water gets darker. Then, as we get closer to Sydney Harbor, it becomes greener. Excuse me, I'm H2O intolerant. Fact 2. Finding Nemo submerges us into set pieces overflowing with detail and scope. Beyond the Sea, one of the first scenes put into production was the tank initiation. Director Andrew Stanton wanted the dentist's office at 42 Wallaby Way to feel antiseptic and drab, except for the colorful lighting in the fish tank. The jellyfish scene was also one of the first to be put into production and one of the longest to stay in production. Taking on the jellies took about 8 months of work between the design, camera work, and layout. In a few shots, you can see over 6,000 jellyfish. Whoa! During the climactic fishing net scene, the talented team at Pixar achieved a feeling of black and white by making everything very high contrast and dark, so the colorful Marlin, Dory, and Nemo popped out from this school of fish. They made it pretty easy to find Nemo. Fact 3. What wasn't easy was figuring out how to have fish show emotions. Real fish don't have eyelids and often have eyes on the sides of their faces instead of in front, so they had to tweak it. Using dogs as inspiration, they put enough eyebrow on the fish to get the nuances of emotions. They also studied the anatomy of real tropical fish to see how the many colors, textures, and scales responded to light, comparing the effect to light passing through a gummy bear, coining the phrase, the gummy effect. And they even learned how to speak whale. If you're a Pixar fan, you know there's bound to be an Easter egg or two, and Finding Nemo has quite the catch of them. P. Sherman's Waiting Room is a treasure trove of references to other Pixar movies. You can see a Buzz Lightyear toy near the toy chest, and an M is for Monster magazine. You might also catch a glimpse of one of the patients reading a comic featuring Mr. Incredible, even though The Incredibles wouldn't come out until over a year later. In his office, Dr. Sherman proudly displays his certificate from the Pixar University of Dentistry, whose seal features a little green alien from Toy Story. Pixar is located in Emeryville, California, and likewise, a Greetings from Emeryville postcard adorns the wall. The mobile hanging from the ceiling is also featured in Boo's room from Monsters, Inc. Inside the fish tank on the stern of the sunken ship, you can see the sunglass-wearing mermaid from the Pixar short, Knick Knack. Outside of the office, another Pixar short, For the Birds, is the namesake of one of the boats in the harbor, along with Aeolus III, the name of director Andrew Stanton's father's boat. By the way, Andrew Stanton also cameos as the voice of Crush and the Seagulls. Hi! Of course, the famous code A113 appears on the front of P. Sherman's underwater camera while diving. This is a reference to a classroom number at CalArts where many Pixar animators attended. Blink and you'll miss it as the iconic Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story speeds past the dentist's office. And does my eye deceive me, or is that Mike Wazowski swimming by during the end credits? Fact 5. When Finding Nemo came out, it so totally rocked. Upon its release, it became the highest grossing animated film of all time, and the best-selling DVD of all time. It was the first Pixar movie to win Best Animated Picture, and also inspired 5 parks attractions, a musical, a video game, and a sequel. It truly made waves. So, next time you find yourself surfing the EAC, you now know a little bit more about Finding Nemo. Thanks for watching. Let us know what other Pixar films you would like to learn more about. And remember, when life gets you down, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Bonjour! With music you can taste and color you can smell, here are 5 facts about Ratatouille. Fact 1. To make the food in Ratatouille look tasty, every dish was prepared in a real kitchen, then photographed and animated. More than 270 pieces of food were created digitally. New techniques for lighting, shading, steam, and heat waves were developed to make it look good enough to eat. It helped that Pixar employee Michael Warch was a former restaurant manager and served as production sous chef, cooking up gourmet meals on site for the animators to eat. Research. And yes, the iconic Ratatouille dish was even cooked in real life. Fact 2. Producer Brad Lewis immersed himself in the world of fine cuisine by interning at a world-famous Michelin 3-star restaurant. This cooking boot camp gave the filmmaker a better understanding of how things in a professional gourmet kitchen go down, but also up. Fact 3. Speaking of up, When Remy climbs out of the sewers for the first time, a dog with a recognizable silhouette scares him off. It's Doug from Pixar's then still in production movie, Squirrel! In another cameo, the character Bon Voyage from The Incredibles makes 2 appearances in Ratatouille. First, when he makes the headlines of a Paris newspaper. And second, we see him as a mime on the bridge by Notre Dame when Linguini and Colette skate past. Brad Bird directed both Ratatouille and The Incredibles, but the connections don't stop there. Fact 4. The production designer on The Incredibles, Lou Romano, lent not only his voice to bring Linguini to life, but also his bike. Scenes in the movie were based on real footage that Romano shot taking his bicycle inside his own house. One of the more challenging scenes to animate was when Linguini is dripping wet after falling into the Seine River. Animators used a similar technique by throwing a fellow animator into a pool to see how wet fabric clung to a person. I wonder if that was in the job description. Fact 5. Okay, this one's a 3-parter. Ratatouille is clearly all about the details, but here are a few that you may have missed. When Remy first enters the kitchen, he lands in a sink full of soapy water, so he doesn't contaminate the food. And when he's in the kitchen, he always walks upright instead of on all fours to keep his 2 front paws clean. Now that's a considerate rat. Considerate rat? Never mind. Colette has an oven rack burn on her forearm, which is common among professional chefs, and Linguini retains a bite mark from where Remy bit him earlier in the film. To strike fear into chefs, Anton's office resembles a coffin, and his typewriter, a skull. Anton, listen, I'm no Remy, but I can microwave a mean macaroni and cheese, so... Okay, thanks for watching. Let us know what other Disney films you would like to learn more about, and remember, anyone can cook.
No doubt about it, safety spot, can't do without it. It's been so important that you all stop shouting. Gotta get safety spot, oh yeah! You gotta get safety spot, that means you gotta get safety